Hello dear aspirants, welcome to yet another interesting and informational video on your favorite YouTube channel Think Tank, where big ideas meet big actions. Think Tank has come up with a detailed series on UGC NET exam to guide students on not only the exam pattern, the syllabus, the chapter wise discussion, previous year's solution to questions, but also share you some important tricks on type management, gauging a correct framework of cracking the exam in the first attempt. Apart from preparatory part of this video series, this would also act as a guide for all those aspirants who are in the dilemma of whether to achieve their goals through NET by pursuing a PhD for research or an academic career thereafter. The fresh masters graduate are generally quite confused, or probably people also in the mid careers who probably have an employment history in teaching or corporate life but now want to switch careers and move to the academic side of the jobs. So for all of them, through different discussions, this entire video series on Target UGC NET would actually help you not only to decide whether NET is the correct gateway to achieve your goals, but also to prepare at your best and crack the NET exam in the first attempt. So before we get started, just request you to please subscribe the channel, hit the like button and share with your friends, colleagues and other aspirants who are standing in the same juncture of confusion and dilemma in their careers in life, so that we also get some love and support from your end, which motivates us to curate more such important and relevant content and deliver to you to make the best of the time, the valuable time that you are giving to our channel. So let's get started without further ado. What is UGC NET? UGC NET, as the name stands, it's called University Grant Commission National Eligibility Test. So as the name suggests, it's a national eligibility test. About 1% of all the candidates that appear get selected for the highest rank, which is basically called as Junior Research Fellow, right? From the rest of the candidates who appear for the exam, about 2 to 3% qualified for lecturership or assistant professorship, who can join universities directly, to government universities basically directly, to pursue a career in assistant professorship. And hence, considering the 1 to 3% of the candidates who make it to either of these two merit list, the exam is pretty tough. I don't want to freak all of you, but yes guys, the exam is pretty tough. It's a national eligibility test. The standards are kept very high so that only the best of the lot get selected to pursue research and contribute to the line of education that particular aspirant is following and give back to India and the society, right? So that is why the standard for even the assistant professors selection is kept very high, because they are the creators of the next generation, I would say. As well as for people who qualified for JRF, it's further tough. Further the competition is tough because the top 1% make it there. UGC NET, regarding the exam pattern, will come to our later slides, but just to give you some context, that it consists of two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. I'll go through in detail of each of the paper structures in the next slides, but just to highlight here, out of the two papers, the paper 2 is subject based. So a particular subject you want to become an assistant professor or you want to pursue research career on, you have to prepare on that subject to appear for paper 2. And I am a management educator myself, so my focus for paper 2 would be completely on management, human resource management, labor laws and the management paper as a whole. So apart from these video series that you go through, if you require one-to-one mentorship on management paper, HRM paper and labor paper directly, one-to-one mentorship from me, you can contact me on the given email ID in the comment box below. And I would be very glad to not only counsel you, guide you, what would be the best for you considering a management career ahead, as well as help you, train you to crack UGC NET management, HRM, labor laws in the very first attempt. Right? So here we go. As I was discussing on the NET exam pattern, it's a computer-based test which we call CBT, right? It's a computer-based test. It is of 3 hours, okay, and it has 2 papers. Okay, it has 2 papers. Paper 1 is a generic paper. By generic I mean irrespective you're a candidate from arts background, science background, management background, whatever is your subject, you have to appear a common paper which is paper 1. Paper 1 consists of 50 questions, okay, of 2 marks each, and the topics are generally the general aptitude topics of logical reasoning, communication, research aptitude, teaching aptitude. So there would be some quant as well, some logical reasoning, some on English. Though the difficulty level of this paper, I would say about, compared to paper 2, the difficulty level is around 60-70%, right? Paper 2 is harder than paper 1, but again it's a subjective case, because people who are probably not so confident in quant, in maths, they find their subject paper 2 much easier, and they score much more in paper 2 compared to paper 1. Or people who probably enjoy quant, logical reasoning, are very confident and strong in these areas, they try to score more on paper 1 compared to paper 2. So irrespective, so it's a cumulative score that you get at the end of the test. It doesn't matter whether you score more on paper 1 and less on paper 2 and vice versa, but a cumulative percentage of the total score that you, of 300 marks that you get, helps you qualify either JRF or lecturership in NET. So whichever is your strong area, my suggestion is to focus and build on those more. However, we under Think Tank Academy, we have a framework created for UGC NET which would help you to qualify UGC NET in the very first attempt. Irrespective you're strong in paper 1, paper 2, you'll have a balanced number and rank yourself in possibly in the top 5%. So if you want a one-to-one mentorship on paper 2, which is my subject, I'm a management educator, you can directly contact me on the email ID given in the description box below, and I would be happy to guide you on that. Now coming to paper 2. Paper 2, as I was saying, it is a subject paper which is consisting of 100 questions, again of 2 marks each, right? And here the topics, let's say if I'm talking about management, here topics like HRM, strategic management, organization behavior, marketing, financial management, etc. All your MBA topics basically is what gets covered. You get questions from these areas. A very important point to note here, there is no negative marking. There is no negative marking in this entire exam of UGC NET, right? So while this is an advantage, now when I say there is no negative marking, this is as of today when I'm recording this video and sharing this lesson to all of you. In future, the exam patterns might change. There could be negative markings process implemented in future, but as of today there is no negative marking. While that is an important advantage for this test, on the other hand, as I said, it's quite a competitive exam. The standards are high. So though you're not getting negative marking, but to qualify and get the correct answers to the questions, you actually have to pull up your socks, follow the framework that think tank will offer you in the one-to-one mentorship, and you would be possibly able to crack UGC NET in the very first attempt. Okay. Syllabus, as I've already walked you through, the paper 1 is a generic syllabus. Paper 2 consists of subject-wise syllabus. I am a management educator myself, so if you require detailed discussion and one-to-one mentorship on paper 2, please email me on the email ID given in the description box below for one-to-one private mentorship. But in this video series and the videos that will follow after this introductory video, you will find discussions, chapter-wise discussion, topic-wise discussion on both paper 1 and paper 2 to help you and guide you to prepare the best for your upcoming UGC NET exam. Preparation tips. As I said, there are a lot of resources, there are a lot of free resources in today's date also available for UGC. A lot of books available that you can actually follow. But again, the fundamental, there's a lot can be discussed on how to prepare the best. And as I said, Think Tank has a framework to target UGC NET and crack it possibly in the very first attempt. But apart from that framework also, the very important thing that to remember here is to always revise and be in touch of the basics of each of the topics, whether it's paper 1's quant, logical reasoning, English grammar, or your paper 2's for, let's say, management, it's some HR laws, some marketing principles. You need to know the basics very, very thoroughly, and for that you have to go back to your college books, your master's books. Whether if you're MBA graduate, then go back to Kotler and all those MBA books that you have. Go through your college books thoroughly first. Then we are there in Think Tank to guide you with that framework to compile all the knowledge that you have from your strong basics into a CBT format, a computer-based test format, where you get less time to think and you have to act very quickly, mark the correct answer and jump to the next one. You cannot go back. You don't have so much time, right? So time management skills, accuracy, increasing the accuracy rate, all of that, we are here to guide you. But the first things first, your basics should be very, very clear. Final thoughts before we close off the first video of this UGC NET series. As I said, it's a difficult exam to crack. The standards are high because quite obviously, guys, the future of Indian education system, research, all of that depends on the quality of people that get selected through this exam. So standards ought to be high. But if you have it in you, whether you have realized that or you're yet to realize that you have the potential in you, you can easily crack it, even possibly in the very first attempt, by following the correct methodology, the correct time management skills, focusing on what is important, prioritizing on what is important, and prepare a very thorough game plan to crack it in the very, very first attempt. We are there in Think Tank to guide you on not only thorough chapter-wise preparation, but also during college admissions, there are college level admissions also under UGC NET. So we are here to guide you, but you have to take that first step in converting your big ideas into big actions. If you haven't subscribed to us so far, please subscribe, like this video to show us some love and motivation for all the research and thought process that goes into curating these videos for you. All the best, aspirants. See you in the next video. Till then, think big, act big. Thank you.